Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a completely unscheduled live stream. This is my go-to game for general sort of relaxation and meeting up with a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine from Malaysia, who may or may not be joining us. This is my oldest account. Been playing this for 2 years, near enough. I'm not interested, am I? No, I don't. And yeah, this is what I play. Well, it's one of the games I play for relaxation. I also play Warframe for relaxation. Not quite sure what this says about me. What are we doing today? Okay. So what am I doing? Let's go and do what are called... Oh no, I'm going to do my usual pick-up bits. I'm never entirely certain how to describe Sky. It's this... Yeah, sort of... Is it an RPG? No, you don't actually... Well, sort of. Sort of an RPG. You'll notice the stars symbols on the back of Baron's cape here. This is her name, by the way. Her name is Baron. As in Baron and Luthien, but while Baron in Tolkien's stories was male, Baron is actually a Turkish female name. I normally run Baron with a second account, whose name is actually Luthien. Gotta start off the day with a nice cake. This shouldn't be regarded as a how-to or anything like that. Thank you very much. Doesn't hurt to be polite, doesn't gain you anything. Baron's been wearing that outfit, or at least the robes there, more or less since Inception. Does change it up occasionally, but I still think it's one of the best outfits in the game. Yes, there's dress up in the game. That's a big part of it, actually. You will see people wearing all kinds of styles. And if you think, well, that's weird, a 60-year-old playing a game with dress up, I would remind you that Warframe is essentially violent dress up. I'm not entirely sure whether Warframe players would care for that characterization, but it's nonetheless true. You can conceivably recognize players in Warframe because of their style. Yeah, this is a simple music challenge, which I almost always get a bit wrong. One of the key things is... We see I missed that one. One of the key things about the game is collecting candlelight, which you can spend. It's sort of an in-game currency along with hearts. There is a sort of goal to the game, which is essentially releasing spirits. I don't actually have a huge amount of the backstory because I haven't gotten around to watching the media associated with that. Basically, this used to be a sort of real physical world that got taken over by, what do you call them? Dark spirits. Everyone's actually dead that you see, including arguably your own character. And so what you're doing a lot of the time is reawakening their memories releasing them from stasis. The releasing them from stasis part is arguably the most traumatic part of the game, but I'm not going to be doing that today. At least I don't think I am. Don't plan on going to it to do that. It's generally speaking pretty safe. You can die, but you get resurrected. You have to really try hard to die outside of what they call the Eye of Eden, which I can't see at the moment. And I've just gone the wrong way. Yes, I wanted to go up here. I'm not used to narrating this, to be honest. The grey shadows you see are other players unless you offer them candles and light them up. But I have a regular sort of pattern that I do. I won't claim to necessarily optimize everything. There are players who will get the max candles every day, which I think is 21. That takes a lot of time. You can do it in about 2 hours. I've got other stuff to do today, so I won't bother. In fact, I don't generally bother doing that anymore. So what I'm going for here at this particular point is just sort of some of the larger clusters of light. And then take the gondola up to the Colosseum. And everything seems to be working. That's always the thing. If you're not familiar with my live streams, one of the things I often forget is the microphone here. I've actually been known to talk for 10 minutes until somebody said, microphone. Game has been out on PC for about 2 years. 2000. Yeah, when I first built this computer, 2 years ago, it was originally built for Minecraft, and then I wanted to make sure Sky would run on it. It's been out on mobile for somewhat longer than that. 2019, I think. I think technically it's still in early access on PC. They got it running on pretty much everything, I think. Consoles, Windows. I'm not sure if it runs on Mac. I think it does. I think it does run on the M series Macs. Android, phone, tablet. This is obviously Linux. Runs quite well here. It does have, there's had some glitchiness, but only with very specific features, and I think they've been resolved, or they haven't been resolved by the developers, of course. They've been resolved by the emulation community. May as well pick up these. One of the things you can do in the game, if you're not wondering, is you can dye some of your outfits. I don't think I'm wearing anything that's dyed, but this is one of my favorite places to collect dyes for some reason. I think it's simply because you get so many different pretty colors. Now, one of the goals today is to use an expression with the player. Here we go. Hello, player. Are you going to come and say hello? Well, You can tell how much experience a person has in the game by the star patterns on their back. I can tell you this person has 200 wings plus, same as I do. So they've been playing for a while. You can't get to 200 wings by... what the wings do. Wings allow you to fly further, which can be useful. It's also a flex. They've got this tournament thing going on at the moment. Not really that bothered by. The game's free to play. They make their money through things like purchases, which causes a bit of aggravation because some of it is not cheap. And as you can see, you can spend an awful lot of money on the game if you want to. And what are our choices today? I don't care. Let's see. What's that one? Cloud Collect? I don't know what that one is. Or Crab Race. I don't like the Crab Race. We'll do Cloud Collect. This is one of the dailies today. Yeah, and they decided to change me into this outfit. It's a bad outfit, actually. But... oh, I know this one. Fly around to pick up light. It took me forever to get that cape. That cape, I think, is the most single expensive item in the game in terms of in-game currency. And the only way you can get hearts is through friends. Yeah, it took me a long time to get it. And it looks like I'm going to be doing this solo, which is fine. So, no pressure, no rush. I'm not doing a race, I'm just... the only reason I'm doing this really is... yeah, why not? Don't know why it says one of two. Music's quite nice. If you're a player in the game, I strongly recommend doing the necessary quests to get to the point where you can, and I just messed that up, where you can go to the Aurora concert. That's well worth it. I did live stream that once, if you're interested. Aurora, Norwegian artist, whose full name I forget. Quite like her music though. And the concert's worth experiencing at least once. I think there are aspects of it that are quite creepy, but that's just me. I don't think it's intended to be creepy. I'd be amazed. There we go. And that was the whole point of that. I don't care about that. I just did it for the lights, and in fact, it's one of the dailies. Alright. Yeah, I think that's everything. Ooh. Get the snowboard. I don't really want the snowboard. I don't particularly care about it, but I'll get it anyway. Where's the snowboard? Oh yes, it's the crab with the cup on its back. Hello, Krabby. They have seasons of, which is running at the moment. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. They have events like this, which run for about 2 weeks. So it's not like you're doing the same thing all the time, even though there is a certain degree of repetition. The challenges that you're doing are not exactly what you would call high intensity. What are we doing? Use forge a candle. Neither. Okay. Oh, my other candle in Daylight Prairie. Yeah, this is your cosmetics station, so to speak. So, yeah, I just picked up that. It doesn't really do anything, to be honest. But for those who don't know, yeah, you can change your outfit. So if I want to appear like this, for example, I can change my boots, that sort of thing. Yeah, you get the general rough idea. I happen to like these ones. And I'll go back to that, which is my default. Change your hairstyle, change your face mask, that kind of thing. I've done this in the wrong order. Normally I do the dailies first, but given that this is here, 2 things that are reliable: daily achievements to get extra candles, which you can redeem for stuff, and I think what are generally called the candle cakes. Which is what I'm doing now, out of order, because I thought I was going to have to meditate at that sapling over there, but apparently I'm not. So, if you are a new player, this is the it's just the point at which you become aware there is some danger in the game. I'm pretty certain a lot of players, start the game, progress through, and then hit here and find out that you can be inconvenienced. Not sure if you're supposed to fly over the walls, but that's what players tend to do. And I don't normally bother to pick up the dyes these days. It takes time. So I generally pick up what other people have unleashed, shall we say. Hey, Zenlenus. Hello, Misfit. How are you today? Good to see you. I actually kind of thought I would be talking to myself for 2 hours. Which I'm quite capable of doing, of course. I wanted to say hello. No, not going to do that. Okay. Yeah, the rain washes away your light, which can be roughly equated to life force. Oh, happy birthday, Zenlenus. Congratulations, making it through to another year. I would ask how old you are, but that might be ungentlemanly. $33. Wow. Just over half my age. I remember being 33. Are you doing anything special today? There we go. Right. Silly. Oh, that's nice. I hope there will be cake and sensible amounts of alcohol. And if not, then I hope there's something else you like. One of the problems in the game, and this is a bug, is you do kind of have to know where the lights are. That little pack I picked up there, you sort of have to know it's there. It used to be a case where they were a lot more obvious, but now, no, you kind of have to know, which is a bit of a problem, I imagine, for new players. One day I may have to do a series based just saying, here's where the candles are, here's where the lights are you can pick up. I'm sure there are other guides. Oh, right. Let's see if we can say hello. One of the interesting things about this is you can see what other people are wearing, as you can see. And I'm just doing the... Yeah, this is one of the quests for today. And yeah, I recognize those outfits. I don't think I could duplicate that one precisely. Yeah, you can see at the center of the screen, top there, that's your light meter. When that gets down to 0, yeah, you're in trouble. But worst case... and you have to really try most of the time. You'll end up in what I think they call the black room. You pick up one wing, one of those bars, and then you just continue. You still have to go and pick up the wings you missed. One of the things we won't be seeing today is wing lights. Because I've got them all. And... oh yes. Elevated clearing. For those who don't know, it is generally speaking a pretty non-toxic environment. The only thing to watch out for is that there's a lot of young people that play this game. So keep an eye open for inappropriate behavior. I have personally got a general rule. If I find that a friend of mine is, say, under the age of 18, I will block them. I'm not having any possibility that I'm friends with, say, a 14-year-old. Hello, Nika Brika. That is, strangely, that is an issue that arises, has appeared in online forums. Is it okay for an adult playing the game, and there's a plethora of adults, to be friendly and hanging out with a 14-year-old in the game, or younger? And I think the simple thing is to say probably not, just for the reasons of safety. Yours, if nothing else. So, to the best of my knowledge, everybody I know is technically an adult. But I've seen some interesting stories on the forums, and yeah, I'm afraid my reaction is like, nope, that's not appropriate. How are you doing, Nikabrika? I hope you're well. This is not the angle I normally come into this particular section at. I normally come in from over there, but why do I get the feeling I've missed a candle cake somewhere? I can't remember where they all are. How many have I found so far? Do you know what? I can't remember. Doesn't really matter that much. Hi, Pixel! And I don't mean the developers of Hytale. I mean hi, comma, Pixel. If I wasn't being clear enough. Oh, there's another candle cake. Candle cakes change from day to day in which realm they're in. This is Hidden Forest. I should probably name the locations I'm in. So, yeah, this is the... I can never remember whether this is the boneyard or the graveyard in the Hidden Forest. But like I say, this is the area that will be the biggest challenge to new players. Because the rain does wash away your light. If it gets too bad, you'll often find other players dashing forward to help you. And Nikabrika being there, who I know obviously from Warframe, reminds me there is no trading system in the game, so you can't get a cosmetic and then trade with it. Trade for it. Unfortunately, which I think is unfortunate. I don't know why you can't do that, but you can't. And yeah, these light blooms you can use to recharge, in case you're wondering. Which I don't typically have to worry about, but if you have, you know, only 100 wings, then yeah, it becomes more of an issue. I'm pretty certain I've missed a candle cake. Doesn't matter. And I have to admit too, every time I play this, I can't help but think what it would like to bring a Warframe in here. I think it would be very well suited to a Titania or a Titania Prime. Yeah, that would be heckish. That would be very amusing. A crossover between Warframe and Sky Children of the Light. Yeah, we're never going to see it, but it would be hilarious. And in case you didn't know, you can switch off the rain. But on occasion, I've been known to basically just hang out here so the rain's switched off. Interesting, important thing to note, you see this person flying in over there? It's probably raining for them, but it's not raining for me, so yeah. What I've been known to do is hang out here, because this is the riskiest area in this particular section. And it is not at all uncommon to find newer players in trouble, and it's nice to go help. But that lot seem to be doing all right. don't think I ever did a first impressions video of this, or sort of an introductory. Well, I kind of did. If you want a sort of different take on the game, I've got a playlist called Journey of the Wingless, which documents most of a journey. Why? Yeah, and you can help restore other people's light, as we are doing here. Yes, there are, in fact, umbrellas which protect you from the rain, which is kind of funny. Height is variable and somewhat changeable. Yeah, I think they think it's still raining. Which is kind of strange. Given that they had to have flown up from the... or maybe they just like candles. Umbrellas. That's from the season of Moomin, which I did a bit of a commentary on. A lot of the game, I say a lot of the game, a fair chunk of the game is cooperative. This here, it's called a, what do they call it, a dark plant tree. You can't do it solo, you have to have help. But experienced players are familiar with all this. And experienced players will often help you out too. If you want to find hidden spirits or something like that, you can ask for help. And you can recognize that they're asking help because they'll have a hands clasped sort of icon above their heads. And that can be very helpful in the early game. The funny thing is, a lot of the help you get is mostly early game. It's funny, yeah, you don't really need it at this point. These two certainly don't. Not sure about the other one that this little one is carrying. Height is variable, by the way. Not everybody starts off with the same height. Not everybody has the same possible maximum height. And I think Baron there is probably about as tall as she can get. There is a max height, absolute, but my understanding is, yeah, the max height for each avatar, shall we call them, is slightly different. And if you want, you can play as really short. There's a face mask you can get, which we call Chiba mask. I don't think these are Chibas. I don't like playing as a Chiba. It's kind of cute, but yeah, I'm pretty certain I missed a candle cake somewhere. Yeah, this is a nice little location. Transition to the next area. I don't really need to go to this area, but seeing as I'm here, I might as well. Look, no hands. That is, yeah, that central mountain there, that is the Eye of Eden. And yes, you do get to go there. And that is the most traumatic part of the game is going there. I'm not sure how much I should reveal about it, just in case you wish to play the game and experience it firsthand. But I will say, the first time I went there, circumstances cooperated it to make a really memorable experience. So I'm just going to do the downhill run here because it's easy and quick. And then, yeah, I've got to go and do the admire the sapling in the daylight prairie bit. That will be the daily quests done, I think. Yeah. You can't just chat either in the game. You can chat with friends, but you have to sort of pay candles and invest in it. So you can sit with people on benches and what have you and talk for a limited time. But it's not like Warframe in that respect. I think the idea behind restricting things like that is to make it safer. Chat is moderately heavily censored too, sometimes in amusing fashions. They definitely try and keep it PG, although depending on where you are, you can get away with an awful lot. My Malaysian friend, I suspect it's because she's playing from Malaysia, can get away with saying stuff that I simply would not. Would see me immediately censored. Oh, I hate these. Oh, that worked today. That is a spirit waiting to have its memories resurrected. It is that colour because I've already done it. In fact, I think this particular account has all the spirits in the game. It's entirely possible I missed one, but I don't think so. And no, I don't tend to muck around when I'm doing these things. You can get about 8 people on a server at a time. You can't get more than 8. Obviously, you can get less. You can fast travel to friends when it's working, which isn't always. And if you can't get to them, it's either because the game's being weird or because there's already 8 people on that particular server. You can't exactly induce a server change, I'm aware of, not in a formal fashion. This is the downhill run to the Colosseum, which we were at earlier, and I'm just doing it for the light. Hang on a moment, I think. one of my ongoing struggles, as Nika Briga knows, is trying to get decent latency with YouTube, and I thought for a moment there it had broken, but it seems to be alright. Oh yeah. In fact, it's right up there with Twitch, I think. No, not quite. A second or so behind. One thing to watch out for if you get it on tablets and mobile, it's actually possible, quite possible, to get an update and find out your phone won't run the game anymore, which is irritating. And they don't necessarily announce that it's going to be the case. It's simply something you have to learn. I haven't run into the problem myself. Worst problems I've experienced has actually been with Linux, and not in terms of running per se, but in terms of compatibility. Now, having said that, and because it's a multiplayer game, there's an inevitable comparison to be made with Warframe, which seems might seem rather strange, but Warframe seems to have some pretty robust networking code, generally speaking. This goes through periods where everything starts breaking around you left, right and centre. But it's been relatively stable lately, so that's a good thing. That game company has a bit of a reputation for expensive cosmetics. I'm not sure that's necessarily... I mean, yes, you know, gotta bear in mind, it's free to play. They need to make money. The way they make money is through player contributions. You don't have to pay, just like Warframe. You can play this game for free as long as you want. It's not pay to win in any way, shape or form. It's the money you spend is purely for cosmetics. In some ways, Warframe is more pay to win, even though technically it isn't. Well, everything you get in Warframe in terms of general functionality is available through grind and effort. It's not the case here. There's some things you can't get just through sheer effort. I mean, there are obviously Warframe cosmetics, and the only way you can get those is if you pay. But in Warframe, for example, if you want to pay to get certain parts for your Warframe, you can. And if you want to grind for them, you can do that as well. So, you know, I think that's a reasonable summation. Right. Technically, that would actually be... oh, no, I haven't quite done. No. So I've actually been running for 38 minutes. I'll give you some idea how far we've come in a minute. On sort of a general daily basis. My guess would be about 10 candles and all the seasonal stuff. Graphically, it's not exactly complex, but it's nice. Seeing as I'm in this region, I will head over to one of my favorite areas and show you. that's one of the benches. If I light the candle, it allows me to sit down, and a stranger can come and sit and say hello. Yes, that is 4 players all piggybacked on top of each other. I suppose technically you could go as much as 8. Yeah, that's somebody there's got that. Some people really get their emoticons going in this game. I've known people practically have a conversation through emoticons. In case you're wondering, these are all the various emotes that you have access to. Stances. I am obviously using this one. And these are, yes, spells. These are all free at various times. Hello, Moonlight Tint Official. Would you mind if I just call you Moonlight? Right. I think they're doing a Mr. Burns type of thing. Excellent. Hey, is there another one? Another one. Oh. Okay, the other 3 must be elsewhere. Here's a hint. Most people know about it or find out about it pretty quickly. If you run out of Flappy, you can recharge from clouds. Don't ask me how that mechanic works within the game world. I do not know. But one thing that is kind of interesting is if you ever get a chance, take a look at your shadow on the ground. And I don't think you can see it here. Yeah, there you go. Take a look at the shadow. What do you not see? Yeah. You don't have a cape on in your shadow. I don't know if there is lore behind that or some other reason. Hello, Indie Colty. How you doing? So I'm not going to pick up every single candle around here. Like I said, I was going to show you one of my favorite areas. Oh, actually, I'll show you a couple. There's a couple. They're right around here. This is the Daylight Prairie, in case anybody's wondering. Although, if anyone is familiar with Sky, they'll be familiar with this. But, oh, hang on a second. I forgot something. Where's the other candles? Here we go. This is a candle fragment, actually, and I'm missing one somewhere. It's not down there, is it? You do get very familiar with where they locate them. That's 1, 2... Not where... Did they stick it around the back? Nope, nobody, nope. It's not up here. Yeah, the brig goal is going to Eden. Which is... I say that's the ultimate goal. It's the recurring goal of the game. You pick up wings, which to take you to the Eye of Eden. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's well worth doing. Just for the experience, if nothing else. I've missed a candle somewhere. How did I do that? Don't like having incomplete candles. Must be back at the social area. Because I'm not seeing it at all. Actually, do you know what? I don't know how many candles I picked up today, because I didn't start with that much. Huh. So, yeah, no, the ultimate goal is going up there. At the mountain with the lightning and everything else. That's the Eye of Eden. And, yeah. that's where the game becomes about self-sacrifice. So I'll yeah, one of my favorite areas is Prairie Peaks, which is where we're heading here. I think this is I think this is everyone's favorite. No, I'm sure there are some people who love the Golden Wasteland, which I don't think I have any cause to go to today. I'm not sure whether it would be accurate to call the game open world. This is the world as has been revealed to us so far. And each is its own individual section, and then some sections. So we, for example, are right here. But each section is essentially isolated from the others. So we are technically in Daylight Prairie, but we had to go to a different server to get to it. So this is Prairie Peaks. And this is a nice area. When you're heading after wings, you do have to come here. Two of the most awkward wings in the game are actually here. There's one right up where Baron's Head is. That's the highest mountain in the game. That's a nice challenge. There's another one in a cave over there, which is also a pain in the bottom. But yeah, this is a nice area. For all its gentleness, there are some aspects of the game which get quite dark. There's this sort of a background to it. Like I say, there's some places called the graveyard. There's the battlefield. There's, there's some areas here where there was definitely trauma. Some of the spirit memories you unlock are definitely traumatic. So it's not completely roses and smiles. And Eden definitely isn't. In probably a few months, they'll have a Days of Nature, I think, here, which is about pollution and cleaning up the environment. And that person over there is going to go and play with the mantas, I think. Well, no, the manatees, dugongs, sea cows, whatever they are. And seeing as I'm here, I'm just going to go pick up the dye plants. I was very glad when they introduced dyeing into the game. It allows you to basically take some of your cosmetics, not all of them, and add a bit more of your own flair to it. That's all I can be bothered to go after, because I still want to figure out where I... Oh no, there's another patch over there. I don't know why I'm bunny hopping. I'm actually used to playing wingless, although normally my wingless account accompanies Baron here. It's easier, but I got a lot of time playing wingless, and so seeing as flying isn't possible, you end up bunny hopping. Right, so I've actually got to go back to home and try and figure out where I missed one of the daily lights. Candles. Which is back through here. Oh, there. Did I miss that? Yes, I did. I must have missed this one. Oh, did I miss this one? I must have done. That's the one I missed. Yeah. So that's the dailies done. Just got to go and collect those. And I'll show Indie Culty where you're supposed to go. So obviously these are the portals to the various regions. So you got this is your big, and you literally go around them in progression. So here's the Isle of Dawn, Daylight Prairie, Hidden Forest. That's the aviary, I think. Do they call it the aviary? Yeah, that's the aviary, which you can get to. This is Valley of Triumph, Golden Wasteland, and the Vault of Knowledge. But this is where, this is the Eye of Eden. And I'm not going to run Eden today. Notice you need at least 20 wings to get in. You can get in with less if somebody takes you. If you go and watch my Journey of the Wingless series, I took a wingless avatar through to Eden. So I'll just give you some idea what it's like. I'm not going to go and do the whole thing. In fact, I'm just going to show you. In fact, given that Indie Culty, I don't know if they've been here, so I'm not going to do a complete run. Just in case they want to go and try it for themselves without watching Advantage. But this is Eden. Yeah, you get the warning. Yeah, storm rages, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is the riskiest place here. I can return at any point up to there's a spot way ahead of us. It's called Stormlock. Once you get to Stormlock, you can't come back. You have to go forwards. But this is Eden. And your ultimate goal is basically, you can see the two up there, go up there and make your way towards the mountain. There are shortcuts, which I am not going to demonstrate. And I'm not going to linger here, but so this is where you're supposed to come. And then you can, yeah, well, I will let you find out what happens after that. So, yeah. At this point I can return. You get to a certain point, it'll say you can't return after this point. I believe that's called Stormlock. So, what am I doing? How long have I been playing? 52 minutes. Is that all? That actually, what I've just done in the last 52 minutes is fairly typical sort of when somebody on a forum might say, oh, we're going to do the dailies and do a candle run. They might mean what I just did. I didn't max out the maximum number of candles. Oh, I just realized I was going to take you to one of my other favorite places. I probably picked up 10 candles. Yes, I think probably 10. You didn't see... actually, yes, you did. But I didn't collect them all at once. You didn't see them all appearing in my inventory all at once. But what I just did there in terms of daily light is worth about 10 candles, which is, yeah, 50% of the maximum. But there used to be a time I would get the maximum every day. I would call it running to grey. Because it gets harder and harder to collect the candles as you go. You need more and more light to forge a candle. Don't ask me why they call it forging a candle, seeing as they're made of wax, but yeah. So this area here is the Butterfly Fields. You've seen Prairie Peaks. I'm probably not going to go there, but we never know. Over there we have the village, which leads up to the temple. This is the nest. I'm not going to linger in the nest. I'm just going to take you to one of my favorite areas, which is the Sanctuary Islands. And both of those, I mean, both of the both Prairie Peaks and Sanctuary Islands are very nice. Sanctuary Islands is better for flying. The funny thing is, I think it's funny. Many years ago, I got the opportunity to play Journey. I have Journey, actually. I play through it sometimes. For some reason, I wasn't aware it was available on iPad. But anyway, a few years ago, I saw the ads for Sky on Facebook Watch, and I thought, ooh, that looks like Journey. Never realizing it was the same developers, so I got Sky. That's how I got into it. And if you play Journey, you'll be immediately aware that of the similarities between the two games. There's a lot of crossover. In a way, I kind of wish they would merge Journey and Sky. You can actually, the cape. There's 2 capes you can get in Journey. Your achievements. You can actually get them in this. I do have them. Not this account. I have. Yeah. The "Are you allowed to have multiple accounts" thing in this game is yes, that game company, the developers don't like it, but they can't stop you. Why would you run multiple accounts? Why not? You want to play as a female character? That's fine. You want to play as a male character? One of my characters is male. Exclusively. Makes more sense to have a separate account for that. You want to play a wingless? That would require another account. You get the general drift. I've got one account who's technically non-binary and consistently refers to themselves as they. And yes, I am talking about these avatars as though they have different personalities, because in my mind palace they do. Don't ask me why, but they do. And I just realized I went straight into candle collection without thinking about what I was doing. This is a nice area, and I'll show you one of the reasons I particularly like it after I grab the light, which I don't really need. Yeah, unlike Warframe, where there is this massive body of lore, there isn't so much for this, and whereas in Warframe you pretty much uncover it through the quests, and please don't ask me for a summary because I've forgotten it all. This one, no, you got to go and really watch a couple of cartoons, and they're available in the game. I'm not really bothered because I don't care that much, to be honest. So we're just going to dash here, get the lights through here. Are you... Nope. Apparently no one's hanging around to help with the tree. Yeah, this is one of these things where you really need... Oh no, somebody's doing it. Okay, I'll give him a hand in a second. You need 2 players minimum to actually clear that tree. There's a couple of those around. One of them's in a most dangerous location, which I've never seen anybody clear, but I'll give them a hand with this. If you're a solo player, yes, you know, you obviously can play it. The game is somewhat biased against solo players. There are things you almost literally cannot do solo. You can technically do it with 2 accounts, but technically You may find that game company doesn't like it. And if you want a complete explanation of all that, I've got a playlist where I read through the terms and conditions. Yes, you can pick up the fallen crabs and carry them around. If you want to fall asleep, I do recommend listening to me reading the terms and conditions, the end user license agreement, and all the legal aspects that go alongside the game, the privacy policy, and so on and so forth. And every so often, somebody watches some or all of it. In fact, for the longest time, me reading the end user license agreement, which I think was my most watched video in terms of views. My most watched video now is Music from the Long Dark, in terms of views and hours. So, I was going to show you why I particularly like this place. Apart from the fact, well, first thing is, yeah, it's very nice to just sort of fly around. There's a very sort of calming ambiance to this. You don't need to flap, you can just allow yourself to be carried by the winds. If you want some technical aerodynamic aspects to it, you can, I think, you can, no, I thought at one point you could actually, yep, that's phugoid oscillation of a sort. Well, no, it wasn't proper phugoid. Phugoid oscillation is where an object can stall and then recover from the stall automatically, and then stall again, and yeah, it goes through this cycle of stall and recover, stall and recover. I'm sure there are aircraft that can do it, but the original idea, so to speak, came from a very early aircraft called the Utrecht Taube. Its wings were designed after a Javanese cucumber seed, if you can believe that. And that cucumber seed exhibits phugoid oscillation. And he decided, and the I can't remember Utrecht's first name. He decided to implement that seed shape in his aircraft. So that's how come I know about phugoid oscillation. But this is one aspect of it, which is very nice. You can just sort of, yeah, I'm pretty certain I've managed to do proper phugoid oscillation in the game, but I can't be bothered to keep trying now. So this is one aspect. You can do this whole sort of ground effect type flight, which is what we're doing now. And this is pretty much ground effect. Yes, you can go in the water. It won't, and you can get into trouble if you do, because you do have a breath meter. As you can see. But the kind of cool thing, oh, it must be geyser time. Yeah, it is. They have some fairly regular, yeah, it's geyser. Started, must have been 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm not going to hang around for it. It's 10 minutes and I'd rather go off and do something else. Yeah, they do have this slightly irritating thing that certain events kick in and you lose control of your character. but I will go pick up the light. But no, the reason for coming here, yeah, there's one is this rather nice little flight aspect. Oh, interesting point, by the way. You see the two people here that you can see their outfits. That's because I met them earlier, and the others, and they accepted a light from me, and the others did not. While you're in a gaming session, if you encounter somebody like this, they're either a friend or somebody you met along the way. But this is the reason, another reason for coming here. Right, the manta. Mantas. And yes, I'm aware that technically the manta is a seagoing ray, but this is called a manta. Yeah, come on, I want this one, because this one's going to take me to the good bit. Here we go. And this will take me up. Should take me up there eventually. If you've got enough flappy, I think you can use a geyser to kick yourself high in the air, get to the islands and go from there, but it's kind of nice to do it this way. It's kind of funny, I don't normally play this game with earbuds in, so... And as I have stated before, I am technically half deaf. I should wear hearing aids in both ears, but I don't, because I can't stand the damn things. Yeah, but the second reason I like this area is, you know, this whole fly amongst the clouds thing you can do. And it's kind of funny because I got the game for the flight rather than anything else. So, yeah, this is kind of nice. There is a way out through there. It takes you to the wind paths. One day I'm going to have to do a video on navigating Sky just through the wind paths. You can do it. Without going back to... I think you can do it without going to the game portal. It will, in case anybody's interested, run on a fairly low-end computer. It's not massively dependent on your graphics card. My graphics are probably running at about 50% less. You are GPU limited. Sorry, CPU limited. Yeah, all these places we're going past are areas, other realms you can get to from here. This is automatic, this one. It'll take me to the central hub, so to speak. Now that's the Valley of Triumph there. Hidden Fox should be up here on the right. That green area there takes you to the Hidden Caverns. And then here is another rather nice area, which is the Wind Paths. Wasn't actually intending doing a sort of guided tour. I'm not going to do a complete guided tour. I'm just going to take you to some of my favorite places because I can now. And because to my considerable surprise there are 20 people watching for a completely unscheduled video. Right, and seeing as I'm likely to be keeping going for a while, I am actually going to take a quick break. Go to the toilets where everyone needs, if everyone needs to stretch and rehydrate, now is the time to do it. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Right, as I'm back. And in case anybody's wondering, the avatar being displayed in the intermission screen is Nimue. And they are the one who features in Journey of the Wingless, because they started out as a wingless character. And played through until I deliberately picked up a wing and then tried to see if I could resume wingless status, which I could not. But this is a nice area, actually. I really ought to, yeah, like I say, I ought to do a video here one time just of doing a candle run only using the wing paths. Yeah, but not right now. I'll show you my other favourite place, seeing as I'm at it. My other favourite place is actually through here. The Vault of Knowledge. Not a huge fan of the Vault of Knowledge. I much prefer the outdoor ones. But we're not going to be indoors very long. But I think where I'm going, arguably, apart from the Aurora concert itself, has some of the best music too. So this is the Crescent Oasis, which is yeah, home to the 9-coloured deer, which we won't see because I don't have the necessary cape. There are some things which are only accessible if you have somehow generally purchased the right cape. So you can only see the 9-coloured deer under two circumstances. One, you have the right cape, and two, if you are in company with somebody else who does. And but yeah, this is the Crescent Oasis. And there you go, I've used all my flappies up. Yeah, there was a season set here. You can replay parts. You can replay the season, but you can't get everything from the season. I don't think you can get Baron's robes there. I don't think they're available anymore. Have a quick check. Yeah. No, you can't. It's sort of based, I think, on Arizona/New Mexico. Always reminds me a bit of the Painted Desert. I did live in Arizona for about 10 years, so quite evocative for me. There used to be a glitch here where you could get a lot of candlelight from, see if I can find it. I haven't been here in a while. I haven't been to do this part of it in a while. Yeah, you can recharge down here. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, there was a bug in the game at one point. You could go through that tunnel over there and pick up a lot of light, but that was patched. Yeah, that was the area where you could get a lot of light, but they patched it. It's a shame, really. I don't know specifically if there's Anasazi influence, given all these buildings that are tucked into the walls. The Anasazi typically built much higher off the ground, but you can do a candle run here of sorts. There's light available in the temple over there. But I'm weird. I happen to like deserts. Like I say, I lived in the Sonora Desert for 10 years, so... All players will probably come here eventually. You kind of have to if you want to pick all the wing lights. Oh, somebody's in trouble. Oh, I betcha they are running one of the quests. Yeah, that's probably what they're doing. If you do the quests, you have to be somewhat traumatized in that particular passageway there, and I suspect that's what was happening. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember seeing that before. Oh no, that's the... Huh. I don't remember seeing this. Ah, yeah, that's one of the missions, one of the quests. From 2 years ago. I still think the 9-Colored Deer quest was the best one they did. But I suspect part of the reason I like it so much is it's the first one I actually was present for. Sometimes wish I'd gotten the season pass. Season passes cost £9, $9, something like that. But if you want to see the 9-Colored Deer and you don't have the cape, your best chance is to go through here. And hope that there's somebody else there who has it. It happens sometimes. You've got to be slightly careful here. It's actually possible to fall out of the map. Which is technically, depending on how you read the terms and conditions, against the terms and conditions, but some things are allowed in the terms and conditions, despite the fact that they violate terms and conditions. So yeah, if there was somebody else here with the right cape, this is where the 9-Colored Deer lives. But I'm guessing this person doesn't have the cape. Let's see. Nope, they don't want to share, and they're relatively new to the game, so they won't have the cape. I say they're relatively new. Yeah, no, you can tell. They won't. I say it's not actually impossible. They were here. I've got one. Limue. I can't be bothered to get her the wing buffs, and they don't care. Their personality is such like, nope. They don't care whether they get all the wing buffs or not. They can get 120 wing levels maximum, and they're quite happy with it. Whereas Baron here was my first character to get 200 wings. In fact, she's got 217. Maximum, I think, available is 253. There are players with the 253. But it'll probably take me another year to get up to that level. So, anyway. Oh, in the background there was playing Merry Havoc with my green screen. Not a huge amount of havoc. So, yeah, the current season is the season of light mending. And I have a quest to undertake for that. It's the same one every single time. I can't help but feel that sometimes they're running out of ideas. Sometimes it's quite imaginative. Season of the Nine-Coloured Deer, I think, was based on Indian folklore. That's Indian subcontinent, not American. Season of Moomin was based around one of the Moomin books. The Little Prince, which I missed, is based around The Little Prince. Go look it up. Don't like The Little Prince, but that's just me. I think some of the other seasons have also had origins in folklore or books, but this one I'm not sure what they think. I think they just threw something together because yes. So what I'll probably do is finish this off. That one. Oh! And my friend is online, which means I'm going to go grab them. I think they know I'm streaming. So what I am going to do is go grab them and bring them here. There is no in-game microphone, by the way, so you can't talk to people in the game. But in fact, yeah, I'll go grab them and see if they want to come and do the quest. There you go. All of which is... oh, yeah. So... yeah, I've known Skylar for, good grief, how long? 18 months, I suppose. This season is a bit bugged. I've had trouble finishing off this whole put the crystal back together thing. Not with this as a primary account, but if I have a secondary at the same time, it's been a bit much. Here we go. Oops. And I suspect they're watching the cutscene. I suppose it's understandable that they don't allow in-game chat because you could then circumvent the censorship system. But if you wanted to circumvent the censorship system, you could go on to Discord and do Discord chat. I've never tried that. I'd like to, but I haven't. In-game chat, in terms of speaking rather than text, is one of those things that can be quite hit and miss. So one of the things you don't want to do here is, if you're with somebody else, is handhold them through it. That seems to be a good way to mess up somebody. So yeah, the whole purpose here is to find the lights and repair the crystal. Where are we going? Oh. I've spent as much as 20 minutes trying to get all the lights in here. They can be fairly tucked away, shall we say. But it's a good place for light. Oh, yeah, somebody's got one. Ah! I don't know why they limit your wing levels here. Should try and find. Where's it gone? That's irritating. As this, I say, this first thing you have to do. I don't think you have to do it per se. Ah, there you go, that's what I'm looking for. It allows you to act, in this particular one, it allows you to activate the portals. It'll take you higher up the structure. Yeah, and this is a useful little trick. Actually quite high up. Somebody's already got the crystals, and you have to repeat this 3 times, and then 1, 2, and then you're done for the next few days. And now we've got to do it all over again. Oh, somebody knows where they're going in this one. I don't. Yep, that's 2. could just sit here. Oh, there was one down there. Hid. Yeah. Yep, that's another one. Kind of. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. I got lucky. I think this is the last one for... Oh, no. There's a few more of them. People who've played Daviri might actually get the intent of this, because I think... No, it didn't. There is a way you can get an indication where the next crystal is, and it's very... If you've played Isle Weaver... No, not Isle Weaver, I'm sorry. Yeah, Daviri in Warframe, some of it. It's a mechanic you might be familiar with. When you have to reactivate the shrine. And I only figured it out yesterday with the help of Nika Brika here and Dr. Medic, who I don't think is present. Although the last time I mentioned Dr. Medic, he immediately popped on and said, "Were you talking about me?" Like I say, the one trick up here appears to be don't hold the other person's hand in order for both of you to complete the quest without having to rerun it. I don't know why they limit your flappies. Yeah. Interestingly, if you are playing as a wingless, they will give you a wing and flappy, but that's only temporary. It's a spell. It's not permanent. You're not helping. Should have given me an indication where it was, but apparently it didn't. Or I missed it. Zombie spooks. No. Apparently I have a raid going on. That's nice. I haven't had a raid on Twitch in a while. Hello Enchantress and hello Mustakuma. I've never understood the raid mechanic in Twitch, to be honest. So this is me just doing a completely unscheduled stream because I was bored and I said, nah, you know what, I'll run Sky. I don't normally stream Sky, but it makes a change. Oh, there's one. Two. Oh, that's useful. I think that's probably my contribution to finishing this particular quest. And I think we're almost done. I will take this opportunity to give myself a moderately shameless plug. I will be most likely be streaming Soulframe this evening. I know it's not on my schedule. I typically leave myself the option of taking the weekend off, but I do typically run a live stream in the evenings, and it will probably be Soulframe, and it will probably be around about 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or in other words, in about 4.5 hours. In case anyone's interested in Soulframe. And they've done the whole force you to lose control of the camera thing. Yes, thank you. And that's our that's the most recent quest done. And now we see if there's any rewards to pick up. You can do this daily, by the way. I never have. It's probably not a bad way of getting light, but honestly, I suspect doing my usual runs is probably just as good. Let's see if we got... Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. T-burps. I do apologize. Don't think. Oh, now we got to wait. To wait. What's the next one do? Oh, it's not telling me. It's just telling me 45 days left. This will be in about, I don't know, a week or so. Let's see if there's anything I can progress. I probably can. Can I be bothered at this time? Don't really want that, but still. Just going up through the friendship tree a bit further. I can't remember why I got the season pass for this. Right. And let's see. Where did Skylar go? Oh, there he is. What are you doing up there? Normally we're late. Normally this is late for both of us. What time is it? Yeah, 2:30. I typically take an afternoon nap, which I will be doing, but I've got a bit of time, so. Okay, which two? Tournament, sport, and Daylight Prairie. That's almost certainly the two they don't have. Yeah, it will be. Come on then. Oops. So. Didn't actually know that Skylar was going to be on today. In fact, they told me that. I think they told me they probably wouldn't. So I remember where everything is. Gotta do. I forgot to do the Daylight Prairie sapling thing. I think I can fly back. Oops. I swear sometimes you end up doing some of these things completely on automatic and just go zooming through. A minute can seem like forever when you're doing this. And I've really got to get some better lighting for the green screen, because you can see that it's sort of having a bit of fun with my chair at the moment. If I change the background, it's not a problem. Right. Oh, tournament, sport, and the other two. Got it. completely unaware what the protocol is for a raid. You don't get them very often. It's been a long, long time since I experienced one. But welcome regardless. Where was the other one? Can't remember. I've also got to remember that Skylar here hasn't got some of the candles that I have, so I need to remember to drag him through some of those. And did we have a server split? We did. And that's an absolute classic. The dreaded server split. Skylar will now be in exactly the same location that I am, but on a different server. So, typically, the protocol we have set up is the one who was doing the flying, which is me, will stay where they are, and the other will attempt to join them. And assuming we don't have too many players on the server, that can work, but it's glitched. It can take a couple of attempts, even if you're on an empty server. At least that seems to be the case. And that explanation is not for experienced players who may be watching that. That explanation is for everybody else. Because I'm assuming, I don't know, how many people watching have actually played this game? Oh, they had to reconnect. Oopsie. That wasn't a server split. That was a something else. Where's the other light? Where's the other candle? Oh, ouch. That's something else that happens. Synchronicity in this game can be a bit weird. Even if you... Yeah, just because you can see something doesn't mean the other person can see it. There's lots of reasons for that. Where's the other blasted candle? Oh, it's up there. But you can have situations where... You can actually have situations where... for example, the mantas I showed earlier. It might not be in the same place for the person you're with as it is for you, even though you might have actually joined that server at exactly the same time. See, they can be out of sync. Now, most of the time, that's not a huge problem. But there are circumstances where that can be a very real problem. Specifically, if you are in somewhere like the Golden Wasteland and you're trying to avoid the dragons in the Golden Wasteland, if you're a few seconds out of sync, you might think you're safe, but the other person isn't. And that can be a problem. Ah. Oops. That was oop for the glitched. It's always with a game that I rarely stream but play a lot. I do play this game a lot. I mean, this particular account has 860 hours of gameplay in 2 years. It's about the same as I got in Warframe since June. Oh, tournament. You know what? I'm going to take them through the long way. Get them some some light. Hello, Dread Fox. So, yeah, I've already got these lights, but Skylar here hasn't. 100? I've got 100 what? Followers? Oh, I do. Oh, wow. I hadn't noticed. Thank you. Thank you very much. And hello, peer-reviewed gaming. It's taken me... How long has it taken me to get 100 followers on Twitch? Quite some time. 16 months, I think. So thank you to my new followers. If any of you want to go over to YouTube, where I am streaming as well, and subscribe to me on there, that would be greatly appreciated. I made affiliate on Twitch a few months ago. I wouldn't mind getting monetized on YouTube just for the flex. And in case anybody's wondering, actually the reason I wanted affiliate status is, in principle, it allows for different streaming resolutions, which does and doesn't work. The other thing is, I think I make just about enough ad revenue on a monthly basis for a cup of coffee. So if anybody, my YouTube's actually quite comfortable with me streaming at this resolution. This is obviously widescreen. It's 1440p widescreen. Not every device supports that on Twitch, unless it decides that you can change the streaming resolution, which it doesn't always do. I don't know why. Hello again. Hey! I don't know if it's a funny thing or not, but I do a lot better in terms of streaming on YouTube. So on our way down to the Citadel, we'll go via the Colosseum so I can pick up some light. Even though I don't really need it. And on a purely technical note, if Twitch and YouTube watchers can both see the entirety of chat, because I use the restream chat function, which shows up on the video there below my pretty face, which needs a shave. And that, strangely enough, can be quite useful. Oh, I'm not sure it's not strange, but where am I headed? Over here. don't have a list of devices anywhere that support viewing wide streams on Twitch, but I can tell you the iPad mini doesn't have a problem. Hi Anna, how you doing? I got bored, so I started streaming. I thought I'd do something a bit different. How are you doing today, Anna? Oh no, I'm sorry about that. I was just wondering what to do this afternoon, and my options were to try and take a nap, which I will do shortly, or stream something completely different. Soulframe will be on this evening, or it should be unless I fall asleep through it. How's Chad? So, yeah, I'm basically going to take Skylar here through this, go to the Citadel, get her into a position where she's completed her dailies. Then I will actually try for a nap this afternoon. I'm an old man, I have funny sleeping habits, so my afternoon nap is surprisingly important. In case anybody's curious, there's an auto pickup wing light here, if I haven't already got it. But I have already got it. Last. Excuse me a moment. Sorry about that. And again, if you're curious, there is actually another auto pickup right here. Except that I've already got it. You could just see the sparkly lights as I went by. If you do, by the way, usher a wingless around, be very, very careful. I do take a wingless down here on a regular basis, but there's 1, 2, 3. Depending on the route you go, there's the possibility of I don't know, the stream doesn't seem to be having issues. What kind of issues make you think that it might be me? Because I can... Everything seems to be fine at my end, including the previews for Twitch and YouTube. Though there are wind noises in the game. Yeah, like then. Yeah. No, I've got preview on Twitch up as well. That way I can always see what everybody else is seeing. So there is an actual problem. I get to see it. Oh, okay. Because I am once again running YouTube on ultra low latency. I don't entirely trust, but I seem to have found a way to get it to kind of work. That, everybody, has been an ongoing battle, which is great. Latency is fantastic. YouTube? Yeah, typically something like a 15-20 second difference between what you see on Twitch and what you see on YouTube. But attempts to fix that would result in the YouTube stream not starting. But I seem to have kind of resolved it. Oops. By doing a sort of connection test with the Restream chat, the application, I mean. And that seems to help. Yeah. Because you can't see this. The chat that you're seeing on the live stream is actually browser-based, but I view chat through Restream's own application, which they got working for Linux literally within the last, what was it, week or so, I think, which was awfully nice and it's awfully useful. I'd love to know how they scrape their data from the from YouTube and Twitch. Right, so we will drag Skylar to the tournament. Yeah, we'll do something slightly different, seeing as I've already done this once. And they probably got the cutscene. Yep, I think they got the cutscene. No, maybe not. And I know Skylar likes the crab race. I hate the crab race. Ah, excuse me. Ah, itchy ears. Oh, this is not where I thought it would be. I thought the crab race was normally in the Golden Wasteland, but no, they've put it in the Prairie Cave. Oh. What? This isn't the... Oh, it's a... There we go. I missed that one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I think I preferred it when it was in the Golden Wasteland. At least then you had to worry about the dragons. That was better than I expected. Why did they put us in the Olympic tunic? Right, I really do need to bring this. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay. I hope everything works out there. Sorry to hear that. Right, and now it's for a... Oh. Have a good evening slash after. Oh, I just realised. No, have a good afternoon slash evening, Anna. Regards to Chad and the ferrets. And as I just said, I do kind of have to bring this to an end. I do have a sort of limit. I say a sort of limit. It's not a hard and fast limit. More than 2 hours and my brain starts to leak cerebral fluid through various orifices. And you see at the moment that Skylar there is dressed as a moth. That's the default moth pattern. That is another glitch, which is a recurrent one. That so they seem. Right. So, yeah, as I said, I will be back in about 4 hours with sulfuring. Unless something drastic happens. Schedule. Well, my weekday schedule will be posted up there on the final scene. Oh, sorry, that was more of a context thing. I have no idea what you said now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm not entirely. Yeah, it wasn't a. Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, it was simply context. I didn't actually see the point of unhiding it. My bad. One thing you cannot say in chat on Sky is you can't mention various social media names. YouTube, you can't mention YouTube. You can't mention Twitch. Yeah, they all get censored. So people have alternate ways of mentioning them. So anyway, hopefully you don't need encouraging to like and subscribe or follow. Thank you for helping me make 100 followers on Twitch. That was a goal. Took me forever, but I did it. The next big one for me is 500 on YouTube. So, no, sorry, I was talking about Sky. On Sky, censors social media names. That was why Skylar here didn't call it YouTube. She called it something else. What did she call it? She said, yes, goodbye, you YouTube people. We have to work around the censorship system. Right, now I'm completely thrown from my usual goodbye spiel, so I will simply say thank you everybody for watching. It's much appreciated. Like I say, Soul Frame this evening, and I hope some of you stop by, or for the regularly scheduled content that will appear next week. I hope you all have a very good weekend.